from beginning to the end. There's no place for argument. You are God, you are God all by yourself. Amen.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you this evening in the name of Jesus, our Lord. We commit this service of songs to your care. We ask, Lord, that you be with us, even as you have been with us at the start of this program, to the very end of it, and even up to when we travel to the village to inter our dear beloved brother. Spirit of God, we ask for your enablement and your strengthening. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we pray. Let all the saints say, mighty amen. Please take a seat. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the Headquarters Church Heritage Assembly here in the City Southern Road. I want to welcome every one of you to this very solemn and important occasion, which is the service of songs of our dearly beloved brother Patrick Okoba, who departed this earth on the 3rd of February 2020. Praise the Lord. So I want to welcome every one of you. In keeping with the times we are in, you can just give a high five to the next person by just give a high five. Let's tell them you're welcome, you understand? And welcome, praise God. Hallelujah. So we're going to take the very first hymn in our program. I believe every one of you has one of these program booklets, right? If you don't have, please show by hand so we can get to one. But if you do have, then turn with me to the very first hymn. In Christ alone, my hope is found. Please let's be on our feet as we take this hymn. Hallelujah. Please be seated. We're going to take the first scripture reading. It is from the book of Psalm 47, and we're taking from verses 1 to 11. And it is going to be read by Dr. Okoba. Please welcome Dr. Okoba. Oh, you can clap. That is allowed.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for coming today, to join myself, to join my family, to celebrate the life of my father, who recently departed. But again, I just wanted to remind you guys today is his birthday, so it's actually a day of celebration for me. So I'll be doing the first Bible reading from the book of Psalm 46, verses 1 to 11. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not be feared, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Though the water therefore roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. They come behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease into the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and he cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Amen. Thank you.
Please, we're going to take the second hymn. That's the fifth item in the program. It's great. It's like faithfulness. So shall we please be up on our feet as we take this hymn? We're going to take the second scripture reading, and it is taken from the second book of Corinthians, chapter 5, verses 1 to 10. And we're going to have Mr. Okoba to take it. Let's welcome him.
I don't have much to say, but kind of how my brother said earlier, just want to say appreciate you guys, appreciate everybody that actually made it out here. I understand the situation is rough outside, but I definitely appreciate you guys being here in person. For the phone calls that we've had, just want to say thank you. For the prayers that we've had, I want to say thank you to everybody. So I will be reading today from 2 Corinthians 5, verses 1 through 10. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle was dissolved, we have a building of God, and house not made with hands eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so be that be clothed, we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we will be unclothed, but cloth upon that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Now he that hath wrought us for the selfsame thing is God, who also hath given us unto the earnest of the Spirit. Therefore, we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to have a tribute. It's going to be read by Dr. Okoba.
Hallelujah. Okay, so this is a tribute that I wrote to my father. Quick to love and slow to anger, that's who you are. Here I am with the heaviest of hearts, one that I haven't experienced ever in my 36 years of life, because I cannot create any more memories of you, but only appreciate the ones from the past. Words cannot explain this heavy burden and gaping hole in my heart because of how sudden you left me. But it's okay. Okay, because you did what God sent you to earth for. You accomplished every task he asked of you, and you gave more, regardless of the little you have. You defined what a true father is, and gave the ultimate example of what a father's love is toward his family. Here I am, crying, thinking of the fact that I cannot see you again, but it's okay. Okay, because you have 4 sons that will carry on to the best of our abilities. The example of what a man can be, because you are that man. Loving, caring, slow to anger, advisor, protector, and provider. You love our mother more than life itself, and you made sure everything was alright no matter the circumstances. That's what a great man does. A great man always makes sure things are taken care of, even when he's not around. Allocating roles to those that can take the task heads on, because you have the foresight to know and discern character and abilities of his family members. So don't worry anymore, Father. You can rest now. We got this. We are your ideas and your legacy. And the world will know how great Mr. Patrick Okoba was and will be through us. Thank you for your life and the chances you took to keep us safe and sound-minded, because that's what there is to life. To continue you are and to show the world who you stood for, hope and love. Thank you.
I'm Mrs. Immaculate Okoba, the wife to the late Patrick Okoba.
My name is Innocent Osidadima Okoba. I'm the eldest of 4 children by Mr. Patrick Okoba.
My name is Chukwudumebi Okoba. I'm the second son of Patrick Ezenwan Okoba.
My name is Ungazi Okoba. I am the third born of Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Okoba.
My name is Emeka Stephen Okoba. I am the 4th and the last child of Mr. Patrick Okoba.
My husband, Patrick Okoba, was an excellent man, a loving husband, and a good father to the children. He's a man that loves peace. He cares. He is a husband that really can share everything he had with me and the children. He lived a life worth emulating and taught his children the best way to live a life on this earth. He was a man that feared God and lived for God. He served God till the day he gave up the ghost. He prepared himself and always tell me that where he is going is closer to him than where he's coming from. And that he's prepared to give up everything to serve God because he will always want to make heaven. That has been his utmost desire, to make heaven. I missed him so much. And I know that he's in a better place. He loved God, and that is the strength we have, the children and I, that he's with the Lord.
My father was a very hardworking, steadfast, and very cautious man. As far as back as I can remember, growing up in our family, he instilled in us to be very family-oriented. We grew up in a Christian home. He instilled us to believe in living a righteous life, treating everybody with the way we want to be treated. Growing up, grew up in a very disciplined family. My father was very key on education, very key on discipline, very keen on, having family first. I can remember my father. He worked as a banker, and with that attitude, he has the attitude of being very accountable. That's something he also taught us, to be very accountable for our actions, be very observant, and be very patient. Being the eldest child, I had a very big responsibility. I strive to be a very good example as far as character is concerned. Be of a good example to my younger ones. I had very good fond memories of the anxiety, the anxiousness for him coming back home after work towards the end of the week.
Describing my dad in one word it would be a little bit difficult, because my dad has so much qualities, but when I think about it, one quality that stands out is my dad is a very gentleman. He has a gentle spirit. He's a man of peace. That's one thing about him. Another thing that really defines him, he's a family man. All through our lives and just growing up, we watched my dad provide for us. The family values that he instilled in us defines him. He's a man that loves his family. The third thing I can think of also is God-fearing. My dad is a God-fearing man, and he loved God. These are the things that will really define who he is. In my career today, I can see the influence of my father and the lessons that he has taught me throughout my life. I was opportune to have my dad sit in some of my public speaking. Those little corrections, stage presence that my dad will always correct. He was one of my biggest critics, but also one of my best supporters. These are things that I really miss him. I remember one time I was speaking and I had my hand in my pocket. And after the meeting, my dad put me to the side. And he said, when you talk to people, it's not polite to have your hand in your pocket. Simple things like that, little things like that has really enhanced my career today anywhere I find myself.
My father, he's an example of what the right and the perfect father can be. And there is no word that can describe what he has done for me in particular. And as a man, there are certain qualities that I've learned from him, and I hope that I would take it with me and use it to start my own family, and hopefully I will continue his legacy and what he has done for not just me, but for my other brothers and my mom especially. And hopefully we can continue his legacy here on earth and make him proud. He has been a role model. He has been a teacher and an advisor. He has been a protector. He has been very caring and beyond what you can imagine a father can do for his son. Words just cannot describe him because my heart right now still aches for losing him. I really would love for him to still be alive, but I know that God has a purpose for everything, and his time was now, and he is gone. And every day I would thank God for him. Though he is gone, but I think he has gained, the world has actually gained 4 young men, which myself part of, and my older 2 brothers, my younger brother. So the world has gained Mr. Patrick Okoba in 4 different ways and 4 different ideas, and his legacy will live on through us. And I hope and I pray that whatever his wish for humanity is actually to try to push humanity to the next level in the sense of love, happiness, and peace. And I've learned that from my father, that there's no greater purpose in somebody's life than the purpose of helping somebody else to be better in their life. So for that, I appreciate my father, Mr. Patrick Okoba.
When we talk about my dad, there's a lot of memories that come to mind. But something about my dad, he's like a peacemaker. There's something about him that you just can't recreate. There's something about him that's just unique in his own ways. It's not much of a talker. It's not much of someone that likes trouble. Is more of a peacemaker. But with him, he's like I can't talk about my dad without talking about my mom. They're like 2 peas in a pod. Like, they both are just one. I think it took me several days, actually a few weeks before I was able to kind of sit down and accept it. But I think what makes it easier for me to accept, so I have my personal walk with Christ. And I think God has a way of doing things, and everything happens for a reason. So after a few weeks of being sad and crying and just trying to understand why this happened, but I think the acceptance came from my belief in Christ. Yeah, so when you talk about my dad and the way I was easily, or at least accepted the fate that came on February 3rd, it was just the fact that I know he lived in Christ this last few months. Even the last time I came to Benin in 2016, there was this one time I walked into this compound and I saw him studying the Bible, and for me that was a sight that sticks with you for a long time. And finding out that the last few months that he lived, that he was actually overly active in church, helping people in the church and in the community. I think for me, those are the things that when I look at it and look at my belief, my personal belief in Christ, and just understanding what God has in plan, that in the Bible, I mean, to die is gain. So when I think about all that and I sat back and I just accepted everything, yes, I cannot make any more memories, but what I could do is accept the memories that he gave us. And what I could do is, even though I can't make memories with him, the people that he left behind, these are people that have a part of him, and we could continuously make memories day after day. And from February 3rd to even today, to be honest, we've made memories. I don't think we've talked about my dad this much ever. I don't think we've shared memories about my dad this much ever. I'm thinking back to my wedding. I'm thinking back to the pictures that I took of him the last time I saw him when we had the grandkids. He stood in front of the house of my older brother's house, and we just took a picture of him. And you could just tell, you could see the smile. There was this smile that he has that's just unique, and I think that's one of the things that I probably miss the most. Though, is there are a few things now that I'll do. I'll be like, man, yeah, that came from my dad. But so those are kind of things that I like. But the last memory was when he came to my house. He asked how much I paid for it, and I was hesitant to kind of tell him how much I paid for it because it was a lot. But when I told him, he actually looked and he just laughed and smiled. He said, "Can you afford it?" I said, "Yes, I can afford it." He said, "Well, if you can afford it, the house is beautiful. The house is good. It's not too big. It's just for you and your wife." And he said, and he looked inside and he saw the dining table. He said, "Well, I see 6 chairs. So are you telling me that she's gonna be pregnant sometime soon?" So I just laughed and I told him, I said, "Well, she's not pregnant, but the plan is to have kids in the future." My dad just had ways of doing things and making things happen that you can't understand until after the fact. And I appreciate everything that he's done. Without him, I know for a fact we wouldn't be here. Him, my mom, and my brothers. I know for a fact I won't be here. And so for that, I just want to say I love my dad. He's a great man. We'll continue to do what we've planned. Nothing is changing. That's the good thing, because he did a great job. And that's one thing I want him to know. If you could see this right now, is just to say, hey, kind of just look back for 5 minutes and to say, you know what, I actually did good. That would be what I want my dad to think about, because he did great.
Daddy, I'm going to miss you so much. The way we go out together, we drive to everywhere together, and we come back in the evening. You have been a great partner to me, an encourager. I will miss you. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I pray that God will just give me that grace to bear your absence. I pray we will meet on that resurrection day, because I know you are with the Lord.
I love you. If you're listening, Daddy, if you're listening anywhere you are, I believe you are with the Lord. I really miss you and I love you. And thank you. I'm very grateful for the life you lived, the example you set, and the qualities you gave me. Thank you so much.
Okay. I, Ngozi Chukwuka Okoba, will forever love my father no matter what.
Mr. Okoba, Dad, Pops, I call him Pops. Pops, I truly love you. I know I probably haven't said that before to you on a one-on-one. I let my actions speak for me, but for right now, I'm going to use my words. And I'll say, I love you, Dad. You did great. We'll continue to live our life as you've planned, and trust and believe. We won't be sorry for everything that we've done. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you.
We are taking it from the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 13 to 18. And Mrs. Felicia Okoba is going to do us the honor of reading it. Please let's welcome her.
First Thessalonians 4:13-18. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. But the Lord himself descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Dr. Stephen. So Ayubo one, I think I got the name right this time. Dr. Stephen Ayubo one. Praise God.
What kind of life are you living, brethren? Brother Okoba has come. Brother Okoba has lived. And look at the children giving testimony of the Christian life of their father. What a soft-spoken man. Look at the testimony. You know, initially I was a bit sad until I visited Mommy that evening, and she began to tell me certain things. I was struck. Wow! You mean he wrote his own, what do you call it, biography with his own hand and gave it to his son to keep? That's the first time I've ever heard that from any person. What? You mean this man knew certain things I did not know? Men and brethren, this is the testimony of a man's life. This is the testimony of a glorious life. What are you afraid of? What are you running from? How are you going to live your life? How are you going to save your life? I give you an advice. The call of Christ is the call of life. If you come to Him and surrender fully to Him and His Word, it's only then you can save your life. I want us to pray for the family right now. Please have the children and mommy come forward. Let's commit them into the hands of the Lord. Especially Mrs. Okoba and the sons. 2 of them are not here. Let's pray for them. The children, the grandchildren. And the hand of the Lord will keep them. The hand of the Lord will keep them. The fatherly advice that he used to have when daddy was around, that he can't have again, the word of God will take that place. That his children will follow the Lord. And they will not rebel against the word of the Lord. They will walk with him. The great God, the one who hears prayers, will go ahead of them. Oh, like a shield, they will be protected. Like a shield, He will preserve them. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercy I see. This will be a testimony. The Lord will never leave you.
Amen.
He will not forsake you.
Amen.
His hand is upon you. He will keep you.
Amen.
Those questions you've asked, He will bring the answers to you. You will forever experience His presence. I pray for your children. The great hand of God will go ahead of you. You will not be deficient of spiritual wisdom. You will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." The Lord will raise you like pillars. Mighty pillars that will bring glory to His name. He will frustrate the work of the wicked one concerning you, and He will preserve your homes. Your homes will not disintegrate. In the name of the Lord Jesus. Father, we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your word that has gone ahead of this home. It will not return to you void. Thank you for the journey to the village. Thank you for you have gone ahead of us. We say thank you. Unto you be praise. Unto you be glory. And unto you be honor. In Jesus' name we have prayed.